friends, and happy or Good Friday to you. I hope everyone had a wonderful week, and I've got some questions from you to answer. Alrighty. Jackie Acayo, I think I'm saying that correctly, says, hey Budget Girl, I love watching your videos. They really help me keep on track with my budgets. I have a question if you can answer it. I'm from the UK and I have my £1,000 emergency fund and have paid off my credit card debts. I now have student loan debt remaining, but the system of paying off student loan debts is very different here. The interest rate is about 0.9% and it's automatically wiped after 30 years. Is it worth paying it off, or should I just concentrate on working my fully funded emergency fund and topping off my pension contributions instead? Thanks in advance. Jackie, I don't know about you, but I don't really particularly want to keep debt around like a pet for 30 years. And it's probably been a few years since you've been in college, but it sounds like you are doing really, really well. You've gotten yourself out of debt, and do you really want that hanging around your neck? Like, Dave says this a lot to people that ask, I'm on a plan where in 10, 15, 20 more years, they'll wipe my debt. Now, in the U.S., there are all these stipulations when you do that. If you ever miss a payment, you're disqualified. If X, Y, and Z happens, if you suddenly start to make above what you were making before, you're disqualified from that program. And it sounds like the rules are a little bit different in the UK, and your interest is way lower than it is here. But I just get rid of that crap. That's all there is to it. I would want it out of my life. If 30 years is 2 years away, maybe. But if it's, 10, 15, 20 years away for them to wipe this, then no, pay it off. Get it out of your life. Live free. Live wonderfully. That's at least what I would do since you asked my opinion. And I think you'll feel better getting it out of the way. I mean, you've done so well so far. So, yeah, just get that final hurdle away. I know it probably feels a little bit like you're throwing money away, but it's not. You're buying your peace of mind, you're buying the future, and you're going to be so much happier without that debt. All right? Iliana Eduardo says, hi BG, I'm starting on my debt-free journey. What advice would you give to someone who only makes $1,100 a month and who has $35,000 in student loans and $15,000 in credit card debt? Ouch. That is a lot of debt. But I was actually a little bit happy to see this question because $1,100 a month is not that far off from what I was making in Columbus, Mississippi. This was poking me in the back. It's a feather. I'm sorry. There we go. It existed. I told you. It's a feather. Okay. $1,100 is not that far off from what I was making when I started paying on this journey. I was making about $1,400 a month. And there are a couple things you got to do. One, know it's possible. I know that this seems like a hugely insurmountable goal, but less than 3 years ago, I had $32,000 worth of debt, and now I only have 17. So especially the first time you do the math on paper and see how long it'll take you to get out of debt, it can be so disparaging. It can just like, this is going to take me 10 years. Why do I even bother? But starting this journey is worth it, and committing to this. And I'm so glad to see you asking this question because it means that somewhere in you think, hey, I might be able to do this. I might be able to get out from under this. So a couple of steps for you. One, don't charge anything else on your credit cards. No. Close them. I'm completely serious. $15,000 in credit card debt is insane. I don't even want to know what your interest rates are, but that's probably going to be the first to go. And I don't know if you're deferring your student loans right now or not, but that might be a possibility. You either need to pay your minimum or defer, do the math on that, figure out what, and then get that credit card debt out of the way, and then hit the student loans. Second, get your emergency fund, your $1,000 baby emergency fund. And I know that sounds like a lot of money, but this is going to be insurance when something bad happens, when your radiator in your car blows up, knock on wood, or you get sick and have to go to the med clinic, or some sort of bill pops up that you have to pay that normally you'd put on your credit card, and then you're never able to pay it off. That's why you have a debt this high. 3, make your budget, and in that, you're going to have to start getting some more income. So $1,100 a month. And I'm glad to hear that that is meeting your basic needs, or it might not be meeting your basic needs. Maybe you were charging some of this on a credit card, but you're probably going to have to pick up a second job. Maybe you can sell something, maybe a third job. When I was in Hammond, I did next to everything. I didn't have anything to sell. I was super broke, but I did secret shopping. I did babysitting. I did dog training. I delivered pizzas from, what was it? And as a reporter, I had really weird hours. So sometimes I'd have to be at work at 6 a.m. Sometimes I'd have to be at work at 8 p.m. I had to report on when there were events, and sometimes they were early morning and sometimes they were late at night. So what I would actually do is, working 50 plus hours a week as a reporter, I'd then go into Hungry Howie's, which was a pizza place that was open till 4 in the morning, and I was a delivery driver for them from usually 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. and I did that 2-3 nights a week, and that really helped get my income up so I could start making progress on this debt. So look for things that you can do to get more money in, because that's the only way you're going to be able to really make a dent on this. But I do want to let you know that this is possible. You can do this, and it does get easier. I promise you. After you've been doing this for a while, it'll be second nature. Your debt will start to go down, which means your interest will start to, there will be less interest to pay, and it'll go faster. I'm finally in that sweet spot where it seems like I'm chopping like $1,000 of debt off every single month. It's fantastic. But if you had asked me 3 years ago, I would have felt like this was that it might never happen. But I'm so glad I stuck with it, and I want to encourage you to stick with it and to try really hard, because this is a big hole you've got yourself in, but I have faith in you, and I think you can do this. All right. I love to watch YouTube. 1981 says, excuse me, greetings, Budget Girl. We love your vids. They've really helped us to reduce our grocery budget, but we could use your suggestions on this issue. I have a family member who is physically disabled on a very low SSI fixed income, Social Security, I guess. They only receive $20 per month food stamps, and we've been buying her groceries, but can't really afford to do this anymore. How can they budget $20 a month to purchase their own groceries? Well, you're saying you're saying a single person, then you're saying there. But either way, I do not know of a diet where you can subside on $20 a month for groceries. I'm not sure that's possible. Even if you just buy rice in bulk, that's going to end with horrible health issues because you're not getting all the nutrients you need. I mean, I've seen $20 a week grocery budgets that look doable, but, and those are on Pinterest if anyone wants to look, but $20 a month I just really don't think is an achievable goal as for something that keeps someone alive, especially in the long term. I would suggest that you, she might have to use some of her Social Security income to that. I'd also call the food stamp office and ask if there is any way to get that increased. Ask if there is any other programs she might be applicable for. I don't know. That's a really hard situation, and I commend you for helping her with her food budget, her or him. I'm really not sure. Oh, her. It does say her groceries. But I don't think she's going to be able to make it on $20 a week. I understand she's disabled. Maybe there is some sort of work that she could do to help with her grocery budget money. I don't think you're approaching this from the right angle, though. I don't think you're going to be able to help her sustain herself on $20 a month. You're going to have to shift some budget numbers around, find a way to get extra food in, extra money in, or apply for other government programs. I'm very sorry I can't help you more. If any of my viewers know of anything that might help, I would very much appreciate the input. But no, I'm sorry, I don't think you can get the groceries down to $20 a month and to live off of. That's just, I don't think that's reasonable. So good luck, though. If there's any other way I can help, then please message me. If you want to message me the budget, I'm better at that. All right, let's see. Tammy McLean, hey, says, hi BG, this is off subject for Financial Friday, but I was wondering if you have any plans for Easter or spring break. I hope you have a fantabulous weekend. Well, thank you, Tammy. I do have spring break plans, kind of. I am working all weekend on Saturday and Sunday because, you know, I have to cover other people's Easter plans. So there are about a dozen Easter egg hunts and stuff like that I need to go and take pictures of and do. But on the upside, there are worse ways to spend a day than taking pictures of adorable children in Easter dresses and little Easter suits. Like, all the joy you see on their faces when they like find an egg, and oh goodness, that's a fun thing to take pictures of. So it won't be awful. And I did take yesterday off, which was amazing. I have not taken a day off literally since I got here 8 months ago. I've worked every single Saturday, and for a long time I didn't even have a coworker in the editorial department, so it was every single thing I covered. So I called my boss after a particularly long Monday, Tuesday, and asked for Wednesday off, and he said yeah. So what I did was I drove 2 hours away to the nearest real city, Fort Smith, and I went shopping, and I had some cheap sushi that was delicious, and I got this shirt, which actually I saw from JCPenney. It's a Liz Claiborne shirt. It's really nice quality, and I saw it when I was Black Friday shopping with Beth, but it was full price, and so, you know, I don't do that. But this was in clearance now, and it was like $12 and something, but they were having a sale for, or they had a special going on where it was an extra 25% off clearance. So I got this shirt for $9.40, and I love it, and I love the colors. I also bought some underwear, which is not my favorite thing to have to spend money on. But yeah, I did that, and I also probably tried on 50 or 60 shirts, but this was the only one I loved, and I try to be really, really picky about that kind of stuff. And I spent money that was left over from my birthday on it. That's one thing about Mina, is that there's nowhere to spend your money here, so you end up just kind of holding on to it if you don't spend it like online. And so I've kind of had like $150 worth of birthday money just kind of sitting on it, waiting for things that I need or that I particularly want, and this shirt was one of them, and I also use that for my underwear because that's just, it's good to have underwear. So I wish I could find that question. Someone asked me online, I think, and I should have printed off this question. It was something along the lines of, what do you spend money on that you hate to spend money on? And it's stuff like that. It's like underwear and socks. And I hate spending money on that stuff because it's not cheap. I mean, it's like $2 a pair of socks. If you get anything halfway decent that's going to last for a little bit, the kind of socks that I like, they come in like a 3-pack for $6. And so it's like $2 a pair of socks. And my underwear is like $5 a pair, even if I get it on sale. And it's just, I hate spending money on that because, you know, that's just not fun to me. I don't get to show it off, really. I don't. And it's just kind of like boring purchases. I don't like spending money on like boring purchases. So that was the answer to that. I'm sorry I don't remember who asked me that question. But yeah, I did that, and I had sushi, which is not available in Mina. There's nothing in Mina. Okie dokie. Let's see. Christy Jones says, Dear Budget Girl, I love and enjoy your videos. I'm interested in saving $1,000. The problem is that I can't save $1,000 in a short amount of time. It would probably take me a year to save $1,000. I found this saving challenge on Pinterest called Madame Money, 1 year savings challenge. It allows you to save between $1,378 and $1,404 based on how you get paid. Is this a good way to save money for BS1? The reason I didn't, also regarding the challenge, I read that some people do reverse order, so they don't have to put that large amount into their savings account around the holidays. Okay, so here is my issue with money saving challenges. Things like the $5 savings challenge, where every time you get a $5 bill, you save it. Or the thing where you put in, and I looked this up, and this is very similar. It's basically a 52-week plan, a monthly plan, and it's set up different ways, where you put in a certain amount each week or each month, and that's your savings. And while anytime anyone's saving, that's fantastic. It just is. This is a way for people to save without doing a budget. Because I guarantee you, no one who is actually doing a budget is adjusting their budget every single week and every single month on arbitrary numbers like that of what to save. I would rather recommend to you to do a budget. And I hate that it would take that long for you to save $1,000, but at the same time, saving $1,400 a year, I don't necessarily see how, through the challenge, I don't see how that's that much different than saving $1,000. So what I would recommend that you do is, instead of just tucking away money here and there, which I'm not judging. I totally did that. When I started realizing that I needed to start saving, and this was pre-budget, pre-Dave Ramsey, what I would do is I would cash my paycheck, and then before I could spend it, I would actually take a couple of 20s, or I'd just randomly take money out of my wallet and I'd put it in the freezer or in books, and then I'd pretend it doesn't exist. And that was my savings plan. But I think that is so funny now that that was my savings plan, was to basically hide money from myself so I didn't spend it. There is a better way than doing that. And this is just kind of a more organized version of that, of tricking yourself into thinking you have less money than you do. The better way to do this is by budgeting. And the difference is that instead of looking at the money in your wallet and being like, I might not need this, before you ever get the money, you write down, pen and paper, you estimate how much you're going to get, and then you make a plan on how you're going to spend every single one of those dollars. Now, first time, this seems very intimidating. And I'll link some videos on how to do a very beginner budget. Rachel Cruz has an amazing one. It's not that hard, and it's such a better way to do things once you get into it. I can't imagine not having a budget now. But what you do is you estimate how much you're going to get, and then you subtract out your bills, and you subtract out your food, and you do all this, and then you subtract out your savings. You make a plan for how much you're going to save. Now, if you're trying to save your baby emergency fund, a large portion of that, of the money that you're getting, you're going to throw towards this baby step 1 emergency fund. You're not going to buy clothes these first couple of months. You're not going to buy home decor. You're not going to spend money on all the things that we all spent money on before we started budgeting and before we started giving ourselves permission. So you can save this money faster. I believe that you can. I haven't seen your specific numbers, but if you think that you could do this kind of money challenge, I think that means that you have the money available. You're just probably not managing it right. So follow the links below. Consider doing this instead. At least try it. You can always go back to this plan, okay? I really think you're going to like this better. Most people that try a budget do, but you do have to stick with it. Try it for a couple of months, please. Try it for a couple of months. You're telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. And that sounds like gobbledygook, but once you're in it, you'll understand. And I believe in you, and I think you can do this. Trust me, just a little bit. You found my channel somehow, so I know you're interested in personal finance, and this is how I've been successful. And this is how so many amazing people have been successful. I was exactly where you were. I was storing money in my freezer. This is a better way. I have a savings account. I'm paying down my debt, but it's all around the budget. So there's a better way to do this than a money saving plan you found on Pinterest. Most of the time, people who start those, you know, it's $50 one week, then $25 the next, and you just end up skipping it. You just do. And you don't have the money at the end of it. Try this way. I think it'll be better. All right. I think that is all the questions we have time for today. Oh, I did want to do one more. About 14 of you asked me what program I have been using to do my last 2 budget updates. The one that posted Thursday and the one that posted at the end of February. And it is, and I know it's awful, but I wanted to be able to show you the actual numbers that I use as I'm going through them, and you can see exactly where my money is going. And I think it's just better than me having it in front of me and you not being able to see it and me telling you about it. So I finally found a budgeting software that works on my tiny little micro computer that is not very powerful at all. And it's www.apowersoft.com. Gazelle Intense uses a much better one called Open Broadcasting Software, and it actually, like, the audio syncs up with the video and all of that, where mine does not. But that, I guess, a less sophisticated program works on what I am working with right now. So hopefully in the future I'll be able to get something better. But in the meantime, I hope that you can enjoy that I'm trying to show you my numbers and where all of my money is going. It helps me when I'm able to explain it to you. I feel like I'm able to explain it to you better if you see my budget in front of you. So yeah, apowersoft.com. I can recommend them in that after downloading and deleting about 14 programs, this one actually worked on my little baby computer. But at the same time, the audio is not going to sync up with the video at all, and that's just something you're gonna have to deal with. So, alrighty, please ask your finance questions below. I look forward to answering them every single week. And tell me about your money wins. I love hearing about your money wins. If you just finished a baby step, if you committed to finally getting on a budget, or if your budget finally started working, or if you paid off a debt, I want to hear about it. I want to celebrate with you, and I will see you all very soon. Have a wonderful Easter weekend. Bye.